Hi everyone. It's been a week since Honor of Kings released in new servers, so today's video is for the new players. If you're playing the game for first time or just a beginner, and you're confused about which heroes to play, then this video is for you. In this video I will show you some beginner-friendly heroes of each role. I included a total of 20 heroes. They're very easy to play and very effective at lower ranks. You can easily understand their mechanics and climb the rank fast. Anyway, if you're an experienced player of this game, then I would suggest you to share your in-game knowledge and experience in the comment section. This will help the beginners a lot. Now, let's continue. Marksman heroes are very powerful at later stage of the game, so you need to farm in the early game to be effective. First hero is Lubin number 7. Lubin is a very strong marksman. He can continuously spam his passive to harass enemies. His passive works when you use 5 basic attack or any of his skills. It can clear minions very fast and deals a lot of damage. You can use any of his skills to check bushes to avoid getting ambushed. Lubin doesn't have any dash abilities, so take flash as your main battle spell. Try to spam skill as much as possible to trigger his passive. It can be very effective dealing with enemy front line. Here's the top build and arcana of Lubin number 7. Our next hero is Hou Yi. A lot of people think Hou Yi is not good because he's a beginner hero. But that's not true. Hou Yi is a strong marksman when you use him correctly. He needs a lot of farm to be effective. He can be very deadly at the later stage of the game. Once you have his core items, then he will become unstoppable. But you need to be careful at early game. Try to farm as much as possible and avoid unnecessary fights. Once you have decent gold lead, then engage fight with your tank or support. Here's the top build and arcana of Hou Yi. Next hero is Consort Yu. Consort Yu is a pretty solid marksman. She can deal long-range damage with her first skill. You can use this skill to poke enemies and lower their health. Her second skill can immune any kind of physical damage for 2 seconds. This is her main strong ability. You can use this skill to gain upper hand in 1v1 fights. Second skill also helps to avoid burst damage from enemy assassins. So try to use this skill when it's necessary. Her ultimate can stun the target and reduce their movement speed. You can use this skill to stop the target from running away. Overall, she's a very strong marksman and should give her a try. Here's the top build and arcana of Consort Yu. Fighters are usually played on Clash Lane. They plays a very crucial role in this game. Their main priority is to take down enemies' damage dealers or engage in team fights. First hero on Clash Lane is Byron. Byron is one of the strongest fighter of this game. His skills are very easy to understand. Byron's gameplay depends on his passive. Try to use basic attack or skills to increase the red bar below his health bar. This will enhance all of his skills. Enhanced skills will deal more damage, healing, and gives more shield. He is very strong at early game, so try to be aggressive from the start. Here's the top build of Byron. Next hero is Wu Yan. Wu Yan is one of the aggressive fighters in the game. She can deal huge damage and freeze enemies with her skills. Her skills specializes in dealing continuous damage and crowd control to enemies. She deals massive damage with her second skill. Her ultimate can easily take down any squishy target easily. She gains some shield while the ultimate skill is active. It can help her to sustain longer in fights. Here's the top build and arcana of Wu Yan. Our last hero on Clash Lane is Arthur. His gameplay is simple. Just use his skills, lower enemies' health, and use ultimate skill to finish off the target. He has the perfect balance of defense and offense. He can deal tons of damage even with tanky build. His first skill can silence enemies, which prevents them from using any skill temporarily. Continuous damage from second skill can easily lower enemies' health. Try to finish enemies with his ultimate. Using execute battle spell can be effective for securing kills. Here's the top build of Arthur. In Honor of Kings, there are lots of mages available with different and unique playstyle. New players should play easy to use mages, not the difficult ones. So first one is Lady Jen. Her skill mechanics are pretty simple. You can knock up targets with her first skill, deal damage with her second skill. Her ultimate deals continuous AoE damage in a large area. She is good at dealing damage to grouped up enemies. Her passive can freeze the enemies by hitting them with skills. Lady Jen is very good in team fights. She doesn't have any escape skill, so try to stay in a safe position. If you want to use different mage with similar playstyle, then give Princess Frost a try. Here's the top build and arcana of Lady Jen. Next is Gao. Gao's playstyle is quite opposite from Lady Jen. He needs to get closer to enemies to deal damage. He can deal massive damage with his ultimate. In the recent update, they added dash ability to his first and second skill. It makes him pretty strong after the adjustments. You can use the dashes to get closer to your target, while the ultimate is active. He can melt enemy mage or marksman with his ultimate. You can use flash or frenzy spell for additional damage. Here's the top build and arcana of Gao. And last mage is Dr. Bian. Dr. Bian is a support type mage. He deals continuous poison damage to enemies with his skills and basic attack. He can also heal himself and teammates if they're on skill range. Dr. Bian can support the team while dealing damage to the enemies. He can't deal burst damage like other mages, but he can lower their health continuously. His playstyle is quite different from a typical mage, but he is quite strong and annoying to deal with. Here's his top build in Arcana. I added 2 sections for jungle role. One is tanky, other one is assassin jungle. Let's talk about the tanky jungle first. Kaiser is a good example for that. Tank build Kaiser is pretty good at jungle. He can survive longer in fights and soak up tons of damage. His ultimate skill is his key strength. You can easily engage in team fight and deal a lot of damage with his ultimate. He gains temporary attack and defense boost with his ultimate, making it very hard for the enemies to take him down. Tank build Kaiser can sustain longer, but he doesn't have any escape skill. So try to avoid fight when his ultimate is unavailable. Here's the top build and arcana of Kaiser. Next tank jungler is Dun. Dun is slightly less tanky as Kai, but he has dash ability, stun, shield. Dun is pretty strong at jungle, and he can deal damage and sustain at the same time. You can engage or disengage from fights with his ultimate. He gains crowd control immunity while casting it. He doesn't require high-level skill to play, so you should give him a try. Here's his top build and arcana. Assassin's Heroes deals burst damage to the target. They're often used as a jungler. First assassin on this list is Prince of Lanling. Lanling is a stealthy assassin. He can turn invisible with his 4th skill for 30 seconds. During this time, he gains movement and attack speed boost. He can burst down any squishy target easily. All of his skills deals burst damage, so escaping from Lanling is quite hard. His invisibility will be gone if he comes too close to an enemy, so you have to maintain a proper distance to avoid getting revealed. Here's the top build and arcana of Lanling. Next assassin is Cirrus. Cirrus just got reworked in the recent update. He is now very strong with his reworked skills. He can permanently fly around the map after level 4, so any kind of wall or terrain is no longer a problem for him. Also, his skills deals more damage than before. His ultimate skill can lock targets if it's in the range. Overall, a pretty good assassin. Here's his build in Arcana. And lastly on the list is Lamb. Lamb might be a little difficult for beginners, but if you practice him well and learn his mechanics, then you will see how strong he is. Lamb is currently one of the best assassin of this game, and you should try practicing him on normal or simulation games. If you reach high proficiency with this hero, then you should try him in rank. Here's his top build and arcana of Lamb. Tank and supports are very underrated, because not many players wants to use it, but they are one of the most important role in the game. So don't look down on tank and supports. Now let's talk about tanks first. First on the list is Liu Shan. Liu Shan is a tank who heavily depends on his skills. He can knock up and stun enemies with his 1st and 2nd skill. He gains movement boost and shield while his 1st skill is active. He deals continuous damage and slowdown with his ultimate. You need to stun enemies constantly to utilize his skills. Also, he can disable tower with 1st and 2nd skill. He can take down turret pretty fast if the enemy isn't careful enough. Overall, Liu Shan is a very fun tank to play with. Here's his build in Arcana. Next one is Zhang Fei. Zhang Fei is one of the most tanky hero in this game. His playstyle is quite aggressive. You need to collect energy to unlock his ultimate. 2nd skill provides a shield to his teammates. He can knock back enemy and enter beast mode when you use his ultimate. He gains huge boost in health, shield, and movement speed during the ultimate duration. He can use this skill to engage and soak a lot of damage. Here's his build in Arcana. Last tank on the list is Lian Po. Lian Po specializes in crowd control immunity and engagement. He can boost damage reduction with his passive. Second skill can be used to deal damage and soak up enemy CC skills. His ultimate can knock up whole group of enemies. You can turn the tide of the battle with perfect use of his ultimate. Here's the top build and arcana of Lian Po. Now let's talk about the supports. First one is Kai Yan. Kai Yan is a support specializes in healing. She can heal her teammates with first and ultimate skill. Her healing depends on her skill level and magic power, so try to use 1 or 2 magic items to boost her healing power. Next support is Yaria. Yaria is one of the easiest support. She can deal damage and possess other teammates with her ultimate. She provides shield and increases teammate survivability with this skill. And our last support is Kui. I included him because of his second skill hook. You can hook enemy heroes and stun with his ultimate. Overall, a very fun to play support. Here are the top builds of Kai Yan, Yaria, and Kui. And that's it for today's video. Keep in mind that this video is dedicated to new players and beginners. Heroes mentioned in this video are very easy to understand and strong. It will help players to understand the game better. If you find this video helpful, then consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, thank you for watching.